Well, good morning, viewers from across the globe. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd. Inspector General of Police Olatunji Rilwan Disu says 4 Abuja police officers are now on trial after allegedly extorting 53,000 naira from ICPC chairman Dr. Musa Aliyu, SAN. The officers, not knowing his identity, forced him to a POS terminal, withdrew the cash, and shared it amongst themselves. And across the Atlantic, President Donald Trump is celebrating the 2026 FIFA World Cup, declaring that it's the most successful tournament in history. Let's dive in. I'm OjyOkpe, and this is what's trending. Before we dive deeper, let's see what you're talking about right now. We've been tracking conversations on X, Facebook, our YouTube live feed, and of course, Leke. And 3 stories are dominating your timelines this morning. Trending at number 1, Washington-based lobbying firm hired by ADC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has begun submitting DOJ records on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1993 U.S. drug forfeiture case to members of the Trump administration and Congress. And Nigerians are reacting. Trending at number 2, a former DSS operative, Dennis Amakiri, has broken his silence in a new book revealing explosive details about the final moments of the late military ruler, General Sani Abacha, saying he died of cardiac arrest during an intimate encounter at Aso Rock in the early hours of June 8th, 1988. We have the details. Trending at number 3, a shocking education scam uncovered in Lagos. Operatives of NSCDC raided a fake university operating from a 3-bedroom apartment, rescuing 106 young people who had paid up to $1.5 million in fake admission fees. Can you imagine? Now, here is where you come in. Join the conversation. Use the hashtag What's Trending with OjyOkpe. Comment on our live feed. And of course, Leke. Tell me which of these stories matters most to you, because for the next hour, we're going into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, reactions are trailing Senator representing Borno North, Tahir Monguno's alarm over the non-implementation of the 2026 budget capital components, describing it as potentially an impeachable offence. Let's watch.
Implementation of a budget is a function of the revenue that government was able to collect. From the figures that you have read out and from the brief that we have gotten from the Nigeria Revenue Service, almost all the revenue generating agencies have exceeded their target of revenue collection. If we have exceeded the target of our revenue collection, it is inherently contradictory for government to woefully fail to implement the budget. Where are this revenue going to? If the budget, for example, 2025 budget, has not been implemented, and we have to roll over 70% of 2025 to 2026, and that with the promise that 30% will be implemented before March. Up to March, even 30% was not implemented. National Assembly has to extend the lifespan of the budget up to September to allow government to implement just 30% component of 2025 budget. The issue of 2026 have not arisen completely, has not arisen. Has not even started up in issue. It has not even arisen. So, don't you think is it not contradictory? Or why are these revenues going to the extent that the budget is not being implemented? It is through the implementation of the budget that dividends of democracy is being brought to the doorsteps of the people. If the budget is not being implemented, where is the function of government? For example, Security of lives and property of the people is the primacy of governance. All the security agencies that we have been interacting with them, they are reporting to us that they have received zero allocation in terms of their capital. Where are these monies going to? This is my question. Why is budget not implemented? Because it is a breach of the law and it's an impeachable offence.
Well, Senator Monguno's question cuts to the heart of Nigeria's governance crisis. If revenue agencies are exceeding their targets, where exactly is the money going? The numbers he presented are damning. The 2025 budget was only 70% implemented. The outstanding 30% was rolled over into 2026, and now the 2026 budget has barely begun. Security agencies have received zero capital releases despite worsening insecurity. The senator called it what it is, a breach of Appropriation Act and an impeachable offense. The defense minister says debt servicing and personnel costs are squeezing implementation. But Nigerians are asking, if we are borrowing at record levels and revenue is exceeding targets, who exactly is benefiting? Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. Of course, the budget grilling and that Senate panel was quite the panel. Tough. I mean, you heard Senator Monguno there saying that non-implementation of this budget is an impeachable act. And of course, Finance Minister was there defending the fact that all of these debt servicings are, sort of the reasons why we're not implementing the 2026 budget. But, like I said, this has generated reactions online. I'll take Nasser's post on Facebook. He wrote, the question which were asked by Chief Whip of the Nigerian Senate, distinguished Senator Monguno, were about the accountability in governance, and it is in the right direction. This is not political, because obviously it had almost turned into a political, theater as well. Rufai, before I come to you, I'd like to take a response so you can tie both of the stories together. Meanwhile, we received a clarification from the Office of the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, which stated that the controversial 1 billion naira Bende church allocation in Abia State is actually 780 million naira after deductions, and that the funds were earmarked not just for musical instruments, but also for broader youth reorientation and social support program, and to equip over 130 churches to engage young people against vices, including drug abuse, sexual offenses, and violent crime. I mean, this seems like, a reasonable clarification, but Nigerians are asking why it took public outrage to explain it. Transparency in budgeting should not require a press release after the fact. I mean, the Deputy Speaker is saying that, after deduction is not 1 billion, it's 780 million, and that is going to the youth, not just for musical equipment. Your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know what to do again, Oji. A Deputy Speaker justify breaking of the law in the country. Oji, this country has become a joke. I hate to say that. Dr. Abati, please.
It's not a joke. It's our country too.
It's our country too, but it's looking like a joke. Dr. Abati, is based on Nigeria Constitution, is the government supposed to allocate money to churches, it's a youth rehabilitation program? Can the church that is not paying taxes do their youth rehabilitation program? Is government supposed to allocate money to the churches?
With all the money they are taking from
with all the money
from Ayo
and their tax free. See, this explanation.
You've always supported tax.
This explanation. I will have begged whoever wrote this, please, you shouldn't have written it, because it's one of the dumbest things I've read in recent times. So dumb, so ignorant, so plausible, foolish. Next time, when we raise concern, please don't react. I know you have spokespeople that will have to react to justify the poverty empowerment program that we are doing with giving these people writing jobs, because it's a part of poverty empowerment. See, let's stop reacting and calling Nigerians idiotic. Because that statement just called all of us idiotic. Justifying this, man. That spending, if we have a country, should be revoked forthwith. So church can't do their sensitization program. It's government spending. They used to do church sensitization program. I just want to ask Oji, when we, in our Ayilala shrine, want to do...
Where's your shrine?
Ayilala shrine. Onisheshi. When we want to do our sensitization, or our Igbe shrine, we want to do our sensitization against insecurity in society. Is government going to give me money? Can I put a request forward and say, our Ayilala, we want to do sensitization for insecurity in society or youth mobilization? Because we Igbe people, Ayilala people, Ogun worshippers like us, we can also do sensitization. There's no need for a state religion or
let me even read further that clarification.
Oh yeah,
Then
there's a part that we still have there.
13 federal political electoral wards and over 200 churches. So about 200 churches are being catered to. What part are you talking about?
My question is, how many factories does Bende have?
Okay. They didn't say anything about...
they can never have factories.
And the first phase is going to 130 churches. But
they can never have
total,
factories.
Was it labeled constituency project? This expenditure.
You see, whoever
it's beginning to sound like constituency.
Please, should not have even written that there. Yeah. Look for other ways to justify.
You know, it's our duty to clarify.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please. Let me even... I can teach you how to steal if you can't steal effectively.
No, we don't do that.
No, let me teach you how to steal. See, you can say research for snake. For snake, you know snake venom I was talking about.
We were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, you can say a research for snake venom. You can go and conduct a study and say there's improvement in snake bite and everything.
Are you encouraging?
No. The country is oti bad. So let's be selling it.
You know, at the end of the day, Nigeria is a secular state.
That's just it. No, I'm saying it's stupid. That's what I'm saying. At least they should be more sensible. So I'm teaching them better things to write. Include snake venom in the next year budget. Which other first one? The other first.
I wanted to talk about
the first one,
Monguno.
The Monguno own.
You know.
Oji, do you know there are many things we have even forgotten? Yeah. Oji, you see, somebody was saying that it will take you 2 tenures. We celebrate incompetence so much. And it is beginning to show. That's what Monguno is saying. And Monguno, please, if you say this thing, Oji, can we both tell Monguno to say it with his full chest?
That's what he said. He said that it's an impeachable offense.
Say it with your full chest and stop backtracking. Don't. The video is out there. We just have to say it for the sake of reference purposes. Secondly, look at the budget cycle. Anybody that wants to change Nigeria, you will see it. Anybody that wants to do otherwise, you will see it. When President Tinubu first got in, what was he more concerned about? New presidential jet, 150 billion. Do you know that till today? If Eyidaya Baribe said that the money didn't come to the National Assembly for the approval of that presidential jet, President Tinubu has not accounted for that presidential jet. So when you say you need to give people 2 terms, is it people that when they just got into power, they bought yachts, they bought presidential jets? That is their priority. They bought cars for these National Assembly members. That is their priority. Are these the people that you think are ready?
All right.
And now we can't fund the budgets.
All right, fantastic. I guess we'll move on. I wanted you to just touch on the fact that it's, the fact that Monguno said that this was an impeachable offense. I mean, since you are a lawyer, just really briefly, just to give context to that.
To the extent that the budget is called an act of the National Assembly. It's an appropriation act. Right. It is law. Correct. And the government is bound to respect a law that has been enacted. Right. Government is not expected to break the law.
That's it.
If there are issues, you go for supplementary budgets and you explain. Right. But here in Nigeria, which law do we even respect? The use of public funds to support religion is in itself a violation of the law.
Correct.
Which is Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution. And what we're saying is that there should be greater transparency and accountability. Okay. But Minister Edele has gone to the same forum to say that, look, we have not borrowed up to 80 trillion naira. So what have you borrowed?
All right.
What have you done with it? He says, well, it's foreign exchange and legacy liabilities. Even the economists are saying...
You didn't talk about the consequences of breaking the law. That's what I was asking you about, but I mean, that's a conversation for another program.
Okay.
Now to politics. With a diplomatic bombshell, a Washington-based lobbying firm hired by Atiku Abubakar under a 12-month, $1.2 million contract says it has begun submitting over 60 pages of U.S. Department of Justice records on President Tinubu's 1993 drug trafficking forfeiture case to members of the Trump administration, Congress, and senior congressional staff. The firm says many U.S. government officials were previously unaware of the DOJ's allegation and intends to bring them to Trump's attention, particularly ahead of Tinubu's planned meeting with Trump at Onga in September. The documents allege that between 1988 and 1991, Tinubu opened and controlled multiple U.S. bank accounts used to receive and transfer funds alleged to be proceeds of heroin trafficking, resulting in a 1993 civil forfeiture settlement of $460,000. Now, the president has consistently denied wrongdoing, and the Presidential Election Petition Court ruled in 2023 that the petitioners failed to prove any criminal convictions. But Nigerians are reacting online, and I'll take Temitope's post on X. He wrote, President Trump faces more serious allegations on a daily basis. This will easily endear him more to his Nigerian counterpart. Atiku is only fooling himself. Meanwhile, Nigeria is ripe for strengthening its treason laws. While Miguel wrote, just imagine Atiku invested that $1.2 million on any poverty alleviation programs in Adamawa. But he chooses to waste that huge amount of money in chasing the ghost for a man who has been trying to run the country for decades. His biggest strategy is still running to the US for help. He expects a whole superpower to drop their global issues just to read a 30-year-old civil court case file. Someone needs to tell him that foreign politicians do not hold the keys to the local ballot boxes. Your thoughts?
That last commentator cannot be more correct. Now, we have been in this issue, this red herring of civil forfeiture, this and that, every election cycle. I think it started as far back as shortly after the 1999 election, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State. Since then, these documents have shown up during every election cycle in which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been involved. And the resolution has been the same at the end of the day. The most recent being the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, when, petitioners, I think it was Mr. Obi at the time, went to the Presidential Election Petition Court to say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as candidate of the APC, should have been disqualified because he had a matter in the United States. This is the same thing that the ADC, right? That's the party of
ADC.
ADC, yes.
Atiku Abubakar. That's the same thing they've gone to exhume. The same basic material facts about heroin trafficking, forfeiture of $460,000, and then they are going to Donald Trump. Von Basten, that's the name of the PR firm that has dragged this up again. They are talking to Trump. They are talking to Department of Justice. They are talking about a freedom of information disclosure by one lawyer at a certain time. Just the same story all over again. Just to make a few points. The first is, I don't think anything will come out of it because we're dealing with two different jurisdictions here. And that particular matter, no matter how it was resolved in the United States, has not even been registered in Nigeria. So you can't just go and exhume something without following the due legal process. That's one. Number two is that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is spending over
$1.2 million.
$1 million.
Yes, $1.2 million.
$1.2 million to go and hire a PR firm in Washington. Now, we have PR firms here in Nigeria that are also doing very well. We have the Institute of Public Relations. We have distinguished public relations experts. Now, a man who wants to rule Nigeria, if he is giving out business, why doesn't he encourage the PR industry in Nigeria? There's nothing that Von Bastein will do, whether to dredge up some material or to lobby in Washington, that we don't have people, PR firms with even international connections that they cannot do here in Nigeria. That's the second point. Right. The third point here is that people are saying Trump should take a decision on Nigeria. It's not Trump that will come and determine the outcome of 2027 election. And I think that it's some kind of unpatriotic pitch to think that, oh, if you blackmail a candidate in the Nigerian election, then Donald Trump will step in and say, this is what I want in Nigeria. Those who want to rule Nigeria should also respect the sovereignty of Nigeria and not go and lobby outsiders to come and embarrass Nigeria. The fourth point, and I think I can stop on that, is to say that the 2027 general elections should be determined by the Nigerian people. Whatever material fact anybody wants to protest, whatever present, whatever campaign anybody wants to push, let them do it here in a very competent and robust manner, and let the Nigerian people be given the opportunity to make an informed choice.
Right.
Nobody should dictate to Nigerians. Nobody is going to say you must vote for Tinubu by force.
I know everybody
you should be able to make your choice.
It's just a sentence from you, because you have spoken.
Just a sentence at the question. Dr. Abati, why didn't you also slam the federal government for going to employ American PR firm? Why didn't they employ?
It's the same logic. It's the same logic. We have a PR industry here that is thriving.
Go ahead.
We have experts too. We have experts here. I'm sure you all know some PR experts here.
We need to do a balance. Just quickly.
Going to waste public funds and good resources.
I don't think he has a right. He's within his rights to pursue this matter. And I do think that this matter of the forfeiture, like Abubakar said, has come up a number of times. It was not a criminal convention. Yes, it wasn't. But it's just the way that and the low level of expectations when it comes to leadership recruitment that we have that will sweep things like this under the carpet.
All right.
In any country, you would want to pursue it to the last. However, having said that, as a patriotic Nigerian this morning, I do think that we have to get to a point. I mean, I was talking about aid the other day. They say, no aid. Well, I say we should not collect aid, but any small matter like this to go and report to President Trump. Somebody comes to go and report to President Trump. Wait. What he's saying is that what he wants to do is, from what I see, is to cause embarrassment, especially because President Tinubu in 2 years is going to hunger and would meet with President Trump.
But he did the same in the 2023 election.
Yes, but it wasn't fruitful. So he knows he will not be fruitful. He got to the Supreme Court. But what I'm saying is that this is not just about Tinubu. It is the office of the president, and he represents every single Nigerian. Okay. My concern with this is that in pursuing political interest, do not drag the whole country into disrepute. Unfortunately, or whatever reason, he is the sitting president, and whatever we think we want to embarrass one man, it is a gross embarrassment to the nation of Nigeria. And I don't think that we should carry every matter and go to the United States in this neo-colonialism to come and intervene and say, we're giving too much power to the United States at this point.
Well, thank you. Trade problems with Mexico and Canada.
Sends lobby.
And leave Nigeria alone.
It's the same thing.
All right.
Your government sends lobby.
No, that's collaboration.
Wait now. Which collaboration? Collabo. Your government sends lobby to go and beg you to come and help you fight Boko Haram.
We have a sense of pride as a nation.
Your government went to meeting. We sent our NSC to go and meet.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for your submission. Thank you.
No.
Thank you for your submission.
Let us make our choice.
Choice.
Well, all right. In Osun State, sporadic gunfire was reported across the state capital, Osogbo, for 2 consecutive days as rival groups clashed over control of motor parks and transport unions just weeks ahead of the August 15 governorship election. Videos circulating on social media show armed men in the streets with eyewitnesses describing them as APC operatives disguised as NURTW members and alleging that the Nigerian police force failed to intervene. Let's take a look.
No, I want that. You want that? Ṣé àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó ṣe wà ní ọ̀ndà? Ọlọ́pàá ò ní pa
Well, the opposition is blaming APC thugs for this violence, saying it was a calculated attempt to seize control of the NURTW Transport Union ahead of the election, with the goal of controlling and the distribution of election materials. They say the public disturbance was led by a known notorious thug known as Kazim Oyewale, popularly known as Ashiri Eniba. A video showing a garage also set on fire made rounds on social media. Let's take a look. I mean, Rufai, the APC has not yet officially responded to these allegations, but this is exactly the kind of pre-election violence the Inspector General of Police warned against during his recent visit to Osun. Now, if political thugs are indeed using motor parks as staging grounds for election manipulation, that is not just a security crisis. It's a direct attack on democracy again. Osun is in the news for not good reasons again, because of the elections coming up. I mean, what is really going on? We're seeing thugs on the streets, broad daylight, with machetes, and you saw around there, police officers literally not doing anything. I saw that video.
Oji, what do you expect? This is the democracy. Shebi Professor Otubanjo was saying this morning that APC has been winning very fairly in all the elections.
Yeah, the poor people still vote for
the poor people still vote for. It's the thuggery we are voting. You can see.
I mean, what is this?
The only problem is that Adeleke is not aligning on this governorship election with the APC. Has gone to accord because they have scattered the PDP. It's just it. That's just it. Shebi Oji, we had elections when Buhari was there. You know when you know this country is on its knees, is the fact that we are now quoting Buhari as a better Democrat. That's the scary part. We had election when Buhari was there, Oji. After the election, Adeleke went to meet Buhari and thanked him for allowing the election to go fairly.
Right.
But since the day this election started coming close, it's been one trouble or the other. The IG the other day tried to intervene, nothing still happened. Is it that we are going to say we don't know all these people causing all this chaos in Osun State?
This is it.
So, Oji, we know what is going on. The only thing that is going on is that you have an APC candidate in the election and is challenging Adeleke.
Right.
But it's this in the same country where you had an incumbent candidate. But Buhari was there. And they went to thank Buhari that elections were fairly. So in a country where we are already thanking Buhari, the Buhari, same Buhari of Buhari, decree 3 that they arrest journalists to. Decree 2, Decree 4 that they arrest journalists to. If the same Buhari is now becoming a better standard for democracy.
No, I just wanted to point out an important point which you raised, Oji, and that is that there were police officers who were watching. And this is the same Osun State that the IGP visited and was saying that within government house, are these men within government house? And that's why I feel like there's a docility with the Nigerian police force with what is happening in Osun State, and they have a question to answer. Absolutely. We cannot continue to watch election violence on this scale, and we see uniformed policemen just standing there and doing nothing. And then we have visits, condone. We don't want that. We want action. And I do believe that the police force has failed the Osun State people in this particular regard, and they can do a lot more to tackle this violence that's been going on in Osun State.
Thank you for your submission. I mean, 2 days, gunfire, garage, set ablaze. We need responses from the police command and, of course, from the APC. And now to a story that has Nigeria's history books buzzing. Former DSS Assistant Director Dennis Amakere has broken his silence in a new book narrating the final moments of the late military ruler, General Sani Abacha, revealing that Abacha died of cardiac arrest during an intimate encounter at the Aso Rock guest house at approximately 4:05 a.m. on June 8, 1998, in the book titled DSS at 40, My Journey Behind the Shield. Amakere reveals that he personally interrogated the young woman involved, a pharmacist who fled Aso Rock that night, and her first words to him were unforgettable. She said, "I did not kill him. He died on top of me." He died on top of me, Dr. Abati. I mean, Amakere's account, you know, directly... Please go ahead. This is a serious topic. I mean, I was just about to say that, you know, his account contradicts all of the stories that we have seen, whether he died of an apple and all of those poisoned apples or Indian girls. But he's insisting that the pharmacist's testimony remains the definitive account of what happened that night.
Okay, very quickly, I'm sure you all know Mr. Dennis Amakere. Yes. He's been on this show many times, but he recently, I think last month, released a book, the book you are referring to. It's a 344-page book of 26 chapters. And it was in chapter 17 of that book that he talks about the month of death.
Yes.
How, you know, death changed the history of Nigeria. And the main substance is what you have just referred to, where he was talking about the true account of Abacha's death. I think that's from pages 247 to page 257. Now, he was countering the account of Major Mustafa, who had said that his boss died after he had a handshake with a certain foreign official. And that by 5 a.m. the following day, he had become, you know, sick and then he died subsequently. And he argues in that book that what Major Mustafa was trying to do was to cover up his boss. But that what actually happened is that General Sani Abacha died on active military duty in one of the guest houses of the presidential villa. Because I assume that whatever he was doing in the guest house would be a part of the assignment as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. But the detail is that he had bought an SUV for a girlfriend. Yeah. And then the girlfriend came with her pharmacy sister to go and say thank you to the CEC. And then they were taken to the guest house. Yeah. Then the main girlfriend left. The pharmacy sister, these sisters from hell, I think Mr. Amakere should have disclosed the identity in that book as a lesson for other women. The pharmacist stayed behind. And then whatever, in the course of cockadry, of active commander-in-chief assignment, she said she noticed that the head of state of Nigeria was no longer breathing. Yeah. So she now found a way of escaping from the place. They've got her a car. She said, the head of state said, you should give me a car. She went back to Hilton, Transcorp Hilton. And then immediately she got there, she told her sister, by 7 a.m., she was already in an aircraft to Lagos. When she got to Lagos, they discovered later that the head of state had died. Yes. Major Mustafa now said, who was the last person with the head of state? So that was when the manhunt began. Right. At the time, Mr. Dennis Amakere was Director of Intelligence, Operations and Intelligence at the DSS Command in Lagos. That was how he came into the picture. They went and arrested a woman somewhere around Ojudu or Ogudu. And now he was the person that interviewed her. And that was when the woman said, I didn't kill him. He died on top of me. Interpretation. Head of State General Sani Abacha died on active duty within the proximity of the presidential villa. What is that?
What, duty of what?
National assignment.
No, Commander-in-Chief can give himself any assignment. So this is the clarification. This is the clarification.
I'm watching it all.
What is the duty?
This is the clarification that Mr. Amakere has given, and that this should lay to rest all these speculations about Apple That it wasn't Apple.
Yes.
It wasn't handshake.
Yes.
It was a 4:30 a.m. Incident while the head of state Abacha was attending to other urgent matters of state interests.
He died fighting for Nigeria.
Come on, read.
He died
This is the DSS. This is his account. At the end of the day, it's his
Dr.
account.
Abati,
But I have a copy of the book, I must say, and I've gone through it. My father was actually in the book too, so I know he actually called me to say that my father's name appeared in the book. So I do have a copy of his book, and I have interacted with Mr. Makary himself. So this is his account, and
exact account.
it is exactly
I have a copy of the book too. I read it. Please, in honor of the active national service, I salute.
Abacha died on active duty, according
service,
to Dr. Abati.
That's good.
Shall we just wrap up this politics story? In Anambra State, I mean, concerning allegations have emerged surrounding the INEC office in Onitsha South Local Government Area. In a video which emerged on social media on Tuesday, a man is seen accusing INEC officials of demanding 2,000 naira from applicants before giving them their permanent voters card. Let's take a look.
In another 2,000 naira for PVC. In another 2,000 naira for PVC. In another 2,000 naira for PVC. For PVC. I don't want 2,000 naira for PVC. Stop. Half Makanapa. Stop. Half Makanapa. Half Makanapa. Look at this woman. On another 2,000 naira for PVC. In an work. Also no Lapia. Lapia, where you are? On a Makanapa. On a Kumiye. On another 2,000 naira for PVC.
With this video evidence right there, what actually is going on?
I mean, to be fair, this whole PVC drive has been marred with a lot of controversies and complaints, some of which we've already talked about here. Some people say that they face technical glitches, and now we hear that they are. First of all, let me educate Nigerians. You are not supposed to pay for any PVC. And the other thing was that the man was now trying to take matters into his own hands by, having that physical altercation. That's also wrong. But I can understand the frustration when what you're trying to do is just your civic responsibility, and it seems as if everything, and this one is not governmental. This is just man's greed and trying to exploit and take advantage of other Nigerians. So what I would suggest for INEC is this. There have been a number of complaints. Can we have a channel through which people can easily log complaints, and where there is a clear and demonstrated response to these complaints? And then where erring officers are also held accountable and face the full wrath of the law. Just so that we can trust the process again. It's too early to begin to distrust the process of the elections of 2027, especially at the point of collection of permanent voter cards. I don't think they've been able to sort out the issue around even moving your location or addresses and things and issues like that. And we're gradually coming to the end of this cycle. We do not want any Nigerian to be disenfranchised, and we do not want erring or rogue officers of INEC going about spoiling the name of the institution. So I think it's important that they take this up and ensure that all those who are involved in this particular infraction are brought to book.
I have highlighted this story. There's video evidence out there. We're expecting a response from INEC. Now let's head to Delta State, where the newly sworn-in Delta State Commissioner, Moses Ogbodo, broke down in tears after the state governor, Sheriff Oboweri, officially inaugurated him into the Executive Council on Tuesday. In an emotional video, the commissioner is overwhelmed and attempted to show gratitude. Let's take a look. What an exchange. Some users online applauded the commissioner's gesture, saying it was representative of the reverence he holds for his position. I mean, for me, what touched me the most, and you know I'm coming to you, Dr. Abati, was that emotional interaction between him and his wife. The wife was wiping his face. But of course, you know, he seemed to be so grateful for the position. Your thoughts? I loved it.
We are all made differently.
Yes.
When some people cry and they shed tears,
yes.
it's the tears of joy.
Yes.
I mean, in this particular case, I mean, the man was very happy that, you know, he has been given this assignment. And then, of course, well, the drama with his wife, that's to be expected. Because he's not just now commissioner. The wife has, by the fact of this appointment, become commissioner's wife. And that in itself is a lot to be said. Look at Lagos here. They even have an association. They call it council.
Yes.
So it's also some form of advancement for the wife. So, I mean, and in any case, the two of them are going to embark on this assignment with all the expectations and challenges together. So he's not just a very grateful man, he's also a lover boy. Reporting for duty. First to madam.
Yes.
First to madam.
But let's praise this man. We often
Yes,
say that
go
men
ahead.
don't cry or don't show emotion.
Yes.
Let's not shame him for he could, we don't know his history. Maybe in his family he's the first person to attain this kind of height, or he never experienced it. So we
explain that again. He never
experienced it.
Never expected.
So if he's showing gratitude, I think it's heartwarming for me.
Yes.
And people still are excited. Yeah. But I hope that this will translate now to the responsibility of service. If he didn't expect to get this and was so overwhelmed by emotion, overcome by emotion, let him translate that to the passion with which he would discharge his duty. Right. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him. And kudos to my state governor. I mean, he was like, get up, don't kneel for me. That was really, you know, in this sort of society where people are like, okay, go ahead, bow for me. It's like, no, don't bow for me. And that was really good. So kudos, really kudos goes to my state governor.
Yes. Very active national service.
Fine.
Again, kudos to my state governor, Sheriff Obowori, and congratulations to the commissioner. Well, meanwhile, in Lagos, a shocking education scam has been uncovered after operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Badagry Area Command, raided a fake university operating from a 3-bedroom apartment. Officials also rescued 106 young people who were deceived with the school as an online and distance learning center affiliated with a foreign university. Well, according to the NSEDC, the university recruited students from across Nigeria and neighboring countries, including Niger, Cameroon, and Togo. Investigators also said victims, mostly between the ages of 19 and 24, paid between 200,000 naira and 1.5 million naira as admission and processing fees, while some foreign nationals reportedly paid between 400 and 500 US dollars. Lagos, Ayo. I'm in shock. Like, what really is going on? I mean, imagine believing you finally secured admission to a foreign university only to discover your campus has no accreditation and no future. This case is another reminder for students and parents to verify every institution through the appropriate regulatory authorities before paying a single naira. Ayo, you know,
in Lagos, we have Lagos State University, we have Unilag, we have very credible institutions and a bastion of education. But the truth is that this speaks to me of desperation in many regards, because how can you see an institution like this and you still paid tuition fee? You didn't raise an alarm. You went on to go and get lectures in these places. And so I want to understand the persuasion behind this scam that was successful. A lot of things you don't just even now blame the scam artist alone. You have to even look at the psyche of the people who fell to this scam. And some of the things would be things around lack of alternatives for higher education. So some people will feel that not everyone is academically inclined. There should be options for other vocational studies. And this is what we see in other parts of the world, so that you don't feel the desperation to get that university degree and your certificate for hopes of getting a good job. The other area would also then be the entrance requirements to get into the more conventional universities. Some people have said that in other areas, when you judge the criteria that's used to judge whether or not you're fit for higher institution, it shouldn't be the same across board. What you should get into for medicine shouldn't be the same thing for instance, a vocational course. So you can understand some persuasions, desperation because of how much we regard certificates. So maybe beyond decrying this scam, of course, I hope that they are brought to book and, they face the law, but also understanding the reason why this will succeed and addressing those concerns. That not everyone should have to get to university to be able to make something of themselves in lives. I think it's very important to state that, because some people is just sheer desperation. That's why some people will pay for doctorate degrees.
Right.
Beyond the preliminary report, the investigations should reveal the truth. Any imbecile, no matter how imbecilic anybody is, will know that you cannot have a 3-bedroom flat as a university. That is obvious enough. It's commonsensical. So, but the attraction for many of these 106 young men will be that school, so-called, that fake university, was also running a Ponzi scheme, a chain business, whereby if you bring more students, you will get a commission. Was it the commission that is the attraction? 3, Nigeria has a list of accredited universities. So buyer beware. If you want to apply to a university, you should know which one is the right university or not. Which university collects 1.5 million to give admission. Anybody with just basic education will know that there's something suspicious about that. But finally, I'd like to commend the civil defense. Because civil defense, I think they've been involved a lot now in security matters and investigation, showing some growth, under the leadership of that civil defense. I think they are mining marshals. The other day, they were instrumental, civil defense arresting some people. True. Now, civil defense has also achieved this, uncovering a fake university at a time when the police and the soldiers are overstretched. Indeed, we've seen that, civil defense can be useful in certain regards.
Thank you.
And they should be further empowered to continue to help with the security situation.
Thank you very much for that. Now, we told our viewers that we will be reading your comments. Let me take this reaction from N4J on Leke Leke. He wrote, "We're having fake this, fake that, fake, fake, fake. The NUC has repeatedly warned the public against patronizing unaccredited institutions without official approval. I think they should actively have a site to prove this and more of public awareness with advert. Vulnerable citizens will always fall into this trap if consistent advert is not put out. Kudos to NSCDC for this careful and professional approach to have this fake body arrested. Let's stop this fake this and fake that. Let's have the original thrive, please." Thank you, N4J, for that response. And thank you to our viewers. We'll continue to highlight your comments on Leke Leke. While still in Lagos, let's highlight this sweet moment between Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his wife, Dr. OjyOkpe Sanwo-Olu, who were both captured dancing during the unveiling of the new documentary book titled Sanwo-Olu Against All Odds at Eko Hotel. Let's take a look. All right, fantastic. Congratulations to Sanwo-Olu. I mean, I thought that it was beautiful to see both of them.
Sweet too.
Yes, love
we're very romantic in Lagos State. Let me just chip that in.
Yes, he looks shy.
I was expecting him that he will.
That's too much attack. All
right.
That can quickly lead to national assignments.
No, but this is his wife.
Fantastic. It was beautiful to
yes.
see. And congratulations on the new book.
Shy.
Our president, when are you writing your book? And, so we can have our celebration and all
soon,
of that.
indeed. Very
books
soon.
upon books. Well, all right. Congratulations to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Let's take our good news report now with a remarkable story of Nigerian academic excellence on the global stage. WHO award-winning Dr. Charity Asekaran has just bagged the prestigious Vice Chancellor's Prize of Doctoral Research at the Brunel University of London, where she graduated with a PhD in recognition of her outstanding work. Dr. Asekaran's award-winning doctoral research focused on tobacco control, conducted in Benin City, proving that world-class, globally impactful research can emerge from Nigerian communities. In 2025, she won the World Health Organization's Tobacco Day Award for the Africa region, making it the second time she has claimed the honor, having first won it back in 2017. Her work is now being recognized not just in London, but at the highest levels of global public health.
And for research towards co-designing tobacco control health communication with young people in southern Nigeria, and recipient of the Vice-Chancellor's Prize for Doctoral Research, Dr. Charity Agbonasan Ainobi Azekaran.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Congratulations.
Too.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations, Dr. Charity Asekaran. A PhD, a Vice-Chancellor's Prize, and a double WHO award, all rooted in research that started with young people in Benin City. This is what it looks like when Nigerian brilliance meets purpose, and we celebrate you. Congratulations. You were saying that this Edo State governor should tap into this. I wanted to just...
This is a star from your state. Please make sure that we don't lose her. Invest in her. Tap from her wonderful knowledge, and let's reward excellence. Please.
Correct.
He will do it.
Huge congratulations. Huge congratulations.
My Okpebolo will do it.
Now under milestones. Today, we're celebrating the 75th birthday of one of Africa and Nigeria's only female billionaires, Folorunsho Alakija, for her drive, accomplishments, and for inspiring generations of African women in business. Alakija was born on July 15, 1951 in Ikorodu, Lagos, and first trained in secretarial administration in London, but her heart was always in entrepreneurship, setting up a fashion company during the 80s. A decade later, she established Famfa Oil, marking her official entry into Nigeria's world of oil and gas. She made history when she entered the global billionaire ranks in 2014 as Nigeria's first female billionaire, rewriting the rules of what it takes to build and sustain a company from ground up. During her 75th birthday celebration at her home in Lagos, friends, family, and dignitaries gathered to celebrate her journey in entrepreneurship and Christian service. From all of us at Arise News, we wish Folorunsho Alakija a very happy birthday. We'll take our final story now under entertainment. Colombian icon Shakira thrilled a New York City audience on Monday, bringing out the South African Grammy Award-winning star, Tyler, to perform on stage in Shakira's first post-World Cup performance. The duo performed her hit 2006 song, Hips Don't Lie. Let's take a look.
Let me see you move like you come from Colombia.
You know I had to play that for Dr. Abati. Hips don't lie. On that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. Here is Hips Don't Lie Again from Shakira, featuring White Clef Jeans. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Refugees run the seas because we on our own boat.
I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go, real slow. Baby, like this is perfecto. Oh, you know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. The attraction, the tension. Baby, like this is perfection.